master that part and then move on to the next part. So I'm just pulling it up into a ponytail. I like to use these thick rubber bands from Annie. You know the brand Annie, A-N-N-I-E. Those are thick, black, good, strong rubber bands that I like to use. And that's how I build my base as well. You know, the stem of the ponytail, I just stack those rubber bands up as high as I want the stem to go. Wait, I forgot to tell y'all, Happy New Year! Ooh! Today is the 1st. My bad. Happy New Year! New year, new you, new me, new bag. Now, one thing you want to always remember when doing a ponytail is to center it. I don't care if you're doing it to the middle, to the side. You need to center that thing, okay? Because if you're doing it down the middle, then of course you're going to center it. And then you keep that braid coming down the middle, the center. If you're doing it to the side, then you would just still center your base, which is what I'm doing now. And then you would braid it to the side. Do your braid to the side so your ponytail will fall to the side. And that's it. But always center it. That's how I like to do it. Unless you want to do like an extreme side ponytail or something like that. Then yeah, you're going to have to put it off to the side. But for the most part, I like to center my ponytails. So see, I put rubber bands on. And now I'm just going to go into the molding. Spray hairspray. I use the Got To Be hairspray. And I also use that Icy Fantasia. It's the letter I and the letter C. Fantasia Spritz, I believe. It's the clear. It's actually a gloss and a holding spritz. And I like it because it leaves a little bit of shine behind. So what I do is just lightly spray as I go and then go behind it with use that. I also use ponytail super skinny as a flat ironing serum. So I did put some of that lightly on her hair, and I also use it on the extensions as well, not too much. So as you can see, I'm building that base or the stem up. The part that you're going to have to wrap around, this is going to determine how high your ponytail is going to be, and to get it that stiff part up there, you know, so it's not like flopping around. You have to build the base up, and it has to be strong. And the more that you stack your rubber bands, the higher your ponytail is going to go. So you just stack them going higher and higher, but you have to make sure that it stays firm so your ponytail is not going to be flopping. You know, you want it to be firm, that base part. So if their hair is too thin, you might have to add some braiding hair so you'll get that, you know, firmness. So it won't be like a weak ponytail, you know, where it's just drooping. And also, always make sure that that ponytail is centered. Don't forget to check from the front and make sure that it is centered. I'm still adding rubber bands. I always ask, is it too tight? And you can just look at that and see that it's pretty firm as I'm stacking it. And I pull the hair a little bit to make sure I have all the hairs in place. And I'm just keeping that base really firm, walking to the front and making sure that it's centered. She's laughing because I told her about one time when I was doing a ponytail and I forgot to check to see if it was centered, and that thing was not centered when I went and completed the entire hairstyle. And when I went to the front to look at it at the end so I could take my pictures, it was off centered. It was not right. And it was like, do we start over or do we just rock it like this? And you know, she was cool with it. So you see how I'm stacking those rubber bands? I'm going up higher and making sure the hairs are staying in place, smooth as I go. And that's it. That's gonna be the base. That's gonna be the stem of my ponytail. Braid it down. I'm going to braid it down the center because I want that ponytail to fall down the center. I use the jumbo black strips to protect that mold while I'm doing her hair, because you know, sometimes your arm or your sleeve might rub against the back of their head and it's going to knock a hair out of place. So to keep from doing that and to keep the hairs in place, just use 2 or 3 wrap strips. Then I just braid her natural hair down after I do the strips. And this is where I'm going to add the weave. So I'm going to braid her hair, and then I'm going to take another couple of wrap strips and I'm going to wrap around her braid to protect it from the glue. Now when I wrap that braid, I'm going to put a few regular rubber bands just the regular size, down that braid to keep it firm. Kind of make it, stiff, what have you. And then I'll wrap it with the jumbo strips. And make sure when you do the braid, make sure it's tight. Make sure it's not loose, not fuzzy or anything, because you want a firm braid. You want to keep this whole hairstyle firm as you go, so it's not falling apart. So now I'm taking my jumbo wrap strips and I'm just wrapping it tightly around that braid to protect it from the glue. So absolutely no glue will get on her natural hair. And then to keep it in place, you could put like some spritz to hold it there. can do semi back and forth.
Okay.
Like boom, boom, boom. Yes. Like,
Oh, do a spin.